On it now. And we're live, everybody. Hello and welcome to the Sound, this special Memorial Day celebration in the United States and the last day of May celebration for everyone else in the world. I
Yeah.
welcome Kyle Walz and Evelyn Holland. How you
Hey,
guys
hey.
doing today?
Hello.
Doing all right.
Cool. So, Kyle, why don't you tell us a little bit about your music real quick here?
Yeah, sure. I have a new album, Blood Candy. Released that in February. And starting in February of 2020, I did a music video each month leading up to that release. And that's pretty cool. And actually getting a few plays on Spotify, for what I do, just a few handfuls of plays, that's getting it somewhere. But you can find it on Amazon, iTunes, Google Play or Google Music, whatever it's called now, and Spotify, of course. So that's cool to get some more music out there.
Yeah, I love making music. I've been so busy I haven't really spent much time writing in the last few months, but it's coming. It's coming. I can feel it starting to bubble up.
Yeah.
And also today with me, Evelyn Holland, musician, singer. How you doing?
I'm good. Just enjoying my day off. I got band practice later. As far as new music goes, I've been steadfastly working on the third record, and I just started a new song a couple days ago. And then I
Thank you.
created this keyboard and interlude, or maybe an intro. I'm not sure yet. I haven't really finalized the track listing on the third record, but it's definitely going to be conceptually driven, and I'm trying to produce a better quality with this third record, considering I'm doing everything. And it's definitely more focused than Overlooking the Forgotten, which was released in January, for anybody that's curious.
Cool.
So yeah.
And what's your website so everybody can find it?
Oh, well, it's keysofsolomon.bandcamp.com, and there's the first couple records, and there's a few extra goodies that are Bandcamp only.
Oh
Cool.
yeah, goodies are good. I like goodies. All right. Well, guys, today is a special day. It was actually technically yesterday, but we're just going to celebrate it today because I was off yesterday. The channel, Matthew's Music Lesson Studio, has cracked 20,000 subscribers. Yeah.
Nice.
Woo!
Yeah, a little milestone. So I'm happy
Cool.
about that. We're on the upside of the 20K now. And so, before we start our reactions today, I just wanted to formally announce that I'm doing a very special celebration for 20K. Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. I know it's late for all you leapers, but you can always catch it on the restream. I'm going to do a live stream where the whole thing, I'm just collaborating on saxophone, jamming live with Alip Bata. Okay? Now, I don't know how much I'm going to rehearse for this. It just depends on time. So when I say jamming, this may literally be the first time I ever tried to play with some of these songs, and I don't care. I'm a fish in water there, right? I just like to play. And so, and of course, one thing that I know, because I've watched enough of people's collabs with Alip, and I've seen that a lot from the comments that, people don't want you to step all over Alip. If you're going to collab with him, you got to let him be the star, and then you enhance it a little here and there, but you don't try to be the star, because people don't like that. If you try to use him as just a straight backing track and like put him in the background, right? That don't
Yeah.
work. So I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to be mellow. I'm just going to play a little bit of saxophone, maybe sing a little bit. I don't know. We'll see what I'm inspired to do. But this is very special. For my 20,000 subscribers, this is a big thank you to all of my Aleapers. You guys have been so great in supporting the channel. And so if you can, tune in Thursday. And if you can't, just keep your eyes open because it'll be in your feed. I'm going to make sure the whole stream, unless there's a catastrophe, is public. And then I'll chop it up too. So this is going to be a lot of fun. All right, so talking about Alip Bata, our first song today is going to be one that was requested. And so I'm going to be doing this. I already agreed to it, and I've never heard it. So I thought, hey, what a great idea. Let's listen to this song that was requested special for, the show on Thursday. And so we're going to do that. And this one is Munajatku. Oh, wow. I have no idea how to say that. It's an Elite Bata original.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys all got that one ready?
I would have butchered that pronunciation probably too.
I'm a better singer than I am, just like pronouncing things that are strange to me. I'm strange. I'm limited in just English, and that's my fault. That's my problem. So, Kopi Mana Kopi, everybody. We got the blurry coffee this time. It's not quite disappearing. It just gets blurry and then doesn't. Okay. So, are you having coffee? I'm having cold brew here.
Yeah.
Khalifa coffee.
Yeah, cold brew.
I had a yerba this morning, so I'm good.
So have either of you guys heard this Elite original yet?
Not this one.
Okay. How about you, Eve?
I haven't.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm getting it to load, and so it's queued up.
All right. Well, you know what? I think I'll put them on the other side of the screen. I don't know. If you sit back, Eve, then I have to move a leap. So I'll make it a little smaller. Actually, that'll be better anyway because it'll look better with your background. There we go. Perfect.
Okay.
There. Now it's not even in your. Yeah. Okay. So, like I say, I'm really excited here for all this. To be jamming with the Leap. I've been working towards this for a long time, and the reason why I haven't done it yet is because of audio drivers. Like, I've been trying to figure out, like, how do I play my saxophone and have it sound 100% like through my SM58, through my interface, but then if I do that, I can't get a Leap because it puts my audio driver only on my audio inputs. So I could take and play a Leap on my phone and plug it into my mixer, but then there'd be no picture of a Leap. It'd just be the audio. And then it'd be the background track that I said I wasn't going to do. So I'm like, I have to do it like this. I have to do it like this, the way I'm doing this, because that's the only way I can play a Leap live. And so I have to just play saxophone into this, into my headset mic, which isn't ideal. But I tested it, and as long as I tweak the volume down on my microphone a little bit, then it sounds pretty good. I mean, it's dry. There's no verb. And you know, man, on a sax, you want to have freaking mountains of reverb on it, you know? But maybe I'll eventually invest in like a VST or something that I could use in here. But for now, it's gonna be hard enough for me. You know what I mean? Just to like do the live. So I'll just let it be dry the first time. That's fine. All right, come on. You almost ready? I'm getting sick of stalling.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
It was my internet connection. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine. What's up, Kyle? What were we
I'm
say?
good.
All right.
I was gonna interject about your audio woes there.
Mm-hmm.
Is your microphone in the same cable as your headset? Like, do you have two plugs out the end or just one?
I wanted that on purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you might, I can talk to you about it later if you want. You might be able to take like a mixer output into your mic input on your computer and just go audio.
Don't see it. It's not there. It only likes things that were made for the computer, unfortunately. So
okay.
But I mean, it'll like the only thing I was concerned about was clipping, right? I don't want my saxophone being all distorted and clipping. So as long as I keep a half an eye on the audio meter, it should be fine. So, you know, I'm gonna try it. I mean, like I said, I did a test try on a song, and it sounded pretty good. So I was like, okay, well, let's try it. Schedule the stream, right? I don't want to be chicken. That's not the point. But like, I want to make it good. So I'm sort of meeting in the middle here. I waited a little while, but now I'm ready. Everybody ready for Elite Bata's original song?
Ready for this?
Okay, I'm gonna try to say this one more time. Munajatku. Was that close? Salam, all my leapers. Health, long life, coffee, enjoy. And so, without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Elite Bata's original song, Munajatku. Here we go. That's nice. What was that?
Surprise reaction.
Ah!
It was still a leap, but it went on to the next original.
Okay, all right, that's cool, man. That was fun. I'm so beautiful. Such a and somebody said in the chat that he wrote that for his daughter. That it's appropriate. Man, all those behind the nut harmonic bends, just so many of them, and they're just so pretty. Like his melody, a full 2 octaves above the rest of the accompaniment, just shining, and it was so mellow, just like, and then I love that one part, the chords, the melody chords went in like this, to what I would call like a Beatley kind of direction. Da, 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 da. But then he went da, 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 and then he went up after. Oh man, harmonically that was just so impressive. Like I'm not
Rise
saying
and fall.
yeah, I'm not saying he was sitting there like, which chord shall I do next? It was just the flow was gorgeous, but like instead of just like either like repeating that descending thing maybe, which you could do, or like just going back to like a more like original thing, he finished the idea by adding that whole second half to it, and it just that tripled the beauty of that bridge. Oh man. Okay, and so I have ideas of what I could play with that. Like it's gonna be a lot of long tones, quiet, probably in the middle range between his harmonic melody and the lower notes of the guitar chords, right?
Yeah.
And so I'll kind of sit in that alto range and sort of be like his background singer on the saxophone. I'm seriously talking about playing as minimally as possible, just because the amount of respect. Like, he doesn't need a saxophone player. I'm doing this because people are asking for it. You know what I mean? All right, what do you guys think, man? That was incredible.
Yeah, well, you said something about Steve Morse, and that got me thinking too. And I was hearing some extreme, and like more than words. Too. Yeah, some of those chord choices and things. I was really paying attention to the melody and harmonics he was hitting off the chord. Was he hitting a double octave or the 5? Because I was looking, he was around the 19th fret, and I was thinking, it's like, well, I haven't played harmonics there. I was trying to think where the other, complementary harmonic is off the 19th
fret harmonic is the same as the 7th fret harmonic.
Okay, so I was thinking it was the 5th. So yeah, so playing the, hitting those different, melody notes off the chords, that was really a smart way to do it. And what you said, that kind of Blackbird-esque chromatic walk down with the chords, that was really cool. And that reminds me of a song I'm going to share with you sometime, of an old St. Louis band back from the classic rock days, Pavlov's Dog, I think. No, Mama's Pride. But anyway, I really enjoy the melody. That was something, he used repetition well. And like Matthew pointed out, changing up the chords a little bit to add a little surprise to the melody, to add a little interest. Looking at his time, he's right at that Nashville standard of like 3 minutes for a song, just a little bit quicker. And I liked it. I mean, it wasn't as busy as some of his cover arrangements, but that makes sense. He's wrote this for his daughter. He's trying to channel some sort of memories, make something special. And when you're doing it, you don't want a song that's like overly busy with too many things going on. So this was really nice to listen to. I really enjoyed it.
I'm really looking forward to collaborating on it. Let's get some more thoughts from you, Eve. What do you think?
I liked it. It was very subdued compared to the covers. And it was very I don't know. It definitely represented the love for his daughter, I feel like. I mean, like the harmonic overtones and between that and then Like I said earlier, the Steve Morse um, vibe that I was getting, like some of his like solo guitar stuff, kind of reminds me of this instrumental.
Yeah, I really love just Alip's style in general. Like it's he's created this style that just it weaves through all the different things we've heard. And, of course, there's incredible variants. I mean, Hotel California sounds way different than that we just listened to, or Sweet Child of Mine, or, whatever. I'm not trying to say all his stuff sounds the same. I'm saying more than that. He's taken and he's created this overall sound. Like, to me, like I would say, the greatest bands, the greatest artists, they do that. They create that sound. Like, like say Prince had that sound. Like you could just tell it was Prince. You know what I mean? It didn't take more than a couple of bars usually. Even on some of his obscure tracks, you could tell. Or Michael Jackson, or Insert, right? Whoever. To me, Dream Theater, right? I can tell if it's Dream Theater in 30 seconds usually. There's other bands that sound somewhat like them, and I've been fooled a couple of times. But usually, it's that sound. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell, ooh, I haven't heard this one yet. That's my band. And Alip, he has that. He has that sound he's created for himself, and I just love it. I love it. I'm trying to do that for my music, trying to create a sound that weaves through the covers, weaves through the collabs, weaves through the original music, right? And then people can say, oh, yeah, that's Matthew. I get that. So, I mean, maybe someday I'll get there. I don't know. I'm certainly not there yet.
Well, that's what, all us songwriters, we always kind of strive for that. And
yep.
I always look at it, the ocean of music is way too big for people to go, oh, hey, that's a Kyle Walz tune. I just want people to hear my music and think, wow, that sounds a little different. That's not what I expected to hear in a song, and trying to, hopefully that's a stepping stone.
I'm just talking about within the people on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say for your instrumental, intros or anything, I could pick you out yet. But there's certain things, right? I could pick out your voice, I bet.
Yeah.
Right? And that's cool, man. That's really cool. All right, so this is going to be the fan request here. The first one was a fan request, but it was a request for me for Thursday, and it had to do with the 20K. So now we're going to do the official fan request, and I sent this one to you guys already. After this, I'll pass it over for a turn. But this one has been requested so many times by so many people. I couldn't possibly keep track of all of them. We're talking between 50 and 100 requests. Everybody's like, you need to check out Daisy Nafisa. And I was like, okay. And they're like, she's like Baby Alip. Okay. Okay, let's do that. And I saw this one thumbnail by this one YouTuber, GK, Glasses Kingdom. He's a pretty cool YouTuber, does a lot of reacts and stuff. He's funny. He had this thumbnail, and it caught my attention, and it was like, this baby plays better than me? So I was like, we have to react to this. And it was actually kind of hard to find this video. Like, there was so many reactions to it, but to find the original one, I had to scroll for a little while.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so this is Canon in D fingerstyle guitar cover by Daisy Nafisa. You guys have anything you want to say before we play this?
Go ahead, Eve.
No, I was gonna say Canon in D. I've heard I heard years ago for the first time, and then yeah, I mean it's very has a I want to say a romantic quality to it. Maybe it's the D major, maybe it's the way it's played. I'm not sure. I'm having some issues bringing up the video though.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll give you a minute. That's okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say this reminded me of back when I was playing more classical music, and this might have even been before YouTube, back in the days when Google, you could still access news groups on Google. And there was a video being shared around of someone in China that was around 8 years old playing this super complicated classical piece perfectly. Mm-hmm. And all us people, near middle age back then, would see this and go, oh my, it's like, how do you keep getting motivated to play when, there's people a fraction of your age that play perfectly. It is interesting because that video at that time was a few years old, and some people found out that she was playing in some I don't know, orchestra group or something along those lines, and found an updated video of that same player. And it was interesting to see how they changed from, like around age 8 or so to like 21. And that was really cool, to see that, they're still playing the music. They still love it. And they still have all that bounds of skill in their fingers. That was so cool.
That's crazy, man. Kids are so awesome. And, when a kid is given the right nurturing and it's their idea, man, the things that they can accomplish.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like one example I wanted to give real quick was shout out to tomorrow. I'm having my podcast come out. I have my guest Eleanor Goldfield. I'm so happy. She's an incredible guest. We reacted to some of her music, you guys, on sound. And she said that her father was the youngest cellist or youngest musician to ever get accepted into, I think it was Juilliard or something, at 10 years old.
Wow.
He hated it. It was hell on earth for him.
Yeah.
And so when he grew up, he still loves music, but, I don't know if he does it or what. She didn't say, but, the love of it got beat out of him, right? That's the opposite. I'm talking about, somebody has a love for something and I'm going to find a way to get this for you. I'm going to find a way to, make sure you have time to play, blah, 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 whatever. So you guys ready for some Daisy?
Yeah.
Eve?
Hey, Matt, yeah, I am. Matthew,
right.
Your video froze for some reason.
My video froze? Oh, it didn't freeze on my end.
Yeah, just to let you know. Huh. Maybe just for me then.
That's okay.
Anyways, yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Hang in there, Eve. Hang in there. You're doing great. I appreciate you. All right. So without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Canon in D fingerstyle guitar cover by Daisy Nafisa. Here we go.
It's always fun to watch, young ones play like that.
All right. I have good and bad to say about that. The bad is
Yeah.
we were getting a horrible echo, and I couldn't tell how clean she sounded because I was hearing it again at least once. And so that means everybody else was hearing that too. And the way that this mixer's set up, I can't change the mix between Zoom and my browser window. They're what they are. So one of you guys is picking up some sound on your microphone. So we have to do a Zoom room roulette. So what I'd like to do, okay, is right now we'll do the Zoom room roulette, and then let's play it again. But I want you guys to mute your microphone so that way we can really clearly hear her, because that was one of those things that, I mean, I think it was pretty incredible, but I can't really tell because of the echo. I want to be floored, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do the Zoom room thing, you guys. So like I said, we'll see you in like 2 seconds, all right? All right, be back. Hello, doing the Zoom room roulette, because Zoom won't let us talk unlimited, so I got to wait for them to come back. It just takes a second. But yeah, I want to listen to that again because, man, that was pretty awesome. And I want the full scoop of that. I don't want partial, like, you know what I mean? And I feel like the recording for the restream needs to be cleaner too, so that'll be better. I'll have them mute up, and then that'll make it really good. That's what I'm hoping anyway. So,
All right, I'm back, Matthew.
you're back. All right.
Hey.
So Evelyn's back and Kyle's back. All right. So let's just go ahead and just play that again, cause that's what's feeling right to me. And make sure you guys just go ahead right now, just mute up both of your microphones, and I'll just do it again. All right. Let me make sure I have her on the screen here so everybody can see her. There she is. Okay. So, without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Canon in D fingerstyle guitar cover by Daisy Nafisa. Here we go! That's better. That's the way to do it. Holy mackerel, guys. See? Wasn't that worth a second playing there? Oh my god, dude, she's totally better than me. Totally. I'm a freaking teacher. I teach people how to do that, and I probably could not perform that cleanly in one take like that. I mean, at least not without a few hours of practice. I certainly could not just pick up my guitar and just read that off of the sheet with that much freaking precision. And she was, what, 9 years old? Whoever, go ahead, guys.
Well, I was gonna say, well, I I'm assuming she might not be self-taught like a Leap is. Number one, she has a Taylor guitar, and if you're that young with a nice guitar, your parents are probably helping you get through.
Sure, but I mean they're cool. Baby Taylor's awesome, and you see
yeah,
hers had an XLR out, so it was extra fancy.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, whoever is her guitar teacher, talk to her about alternating fingers because she was using a lot of the same finger. And as a musician, you always want to have efficiency of movement. And if you think that was good, imagine if she was a lot more efficient as a player. Then you can, emote, and then you can do things that are a lot more complicated too. If your technique is being corrected like that. It sounded awesome. It was very clean. It was the regular version of this. I didn't know she's gonna do the version with like the quicker arpeggios, where the tempo is the same, but you're playing like 16th note rolls or something like that. It was just a regular version. I could see myself like trying to not say on the microphone. It made me think of my first wedding, which the song always sticks out in my head. Like, oh yeah, this is what you play at your first wedding. That's a joke, by the way.
yeah. I caught that.
But yeah, that was cool. For that was charming.
What'd you think, Eve?
Yeah, no, I mean she is definitely like more technically advanced at her age than I wasn't even playing at that age.
Right.
So I can imagine that where she's gonna be
Sorry about that.
Come like my age.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I'm gonna echo Kyle and say yeah, it makes me think of a wedding or, like walking down the aisle. I mean, I've never been married or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's whenever I hear it, that's the image that I get instantly.
Well, I always think of weddings or Green Day because and that song is a great jam because you can do the basket case. I think that's the name of the song. That has those same chords for most of the song. But that's a fun one to jam because, you hit that first position Dorian scale and it's super easy. You have all open strings you can play around with. It is, just a really good one to play around with like that. Either of you ever jam on that song or those chords?
A little bit. I haven't in a while. But yeah, in my travels trying to learn a couple classical pieces. Yeah, it's it was one of the ones I touched upon.
Yeah. It's a fun one. It's a, classic, can't go wrong in the key of D. And D minor, even though this is major, D minor, saddest of all keys. This is his happy cousin,
Yeah, I'd say D minor is like just a tad sadder than A minor, which is probably the second in there.
We could get into the very interesting discussion about this. It's a whole nother show, actually, if you really wanted to talk about this, because the musical notes are metaphysically aligned with the colors and are energy centers. And what I found is, and I don't generally get to do this, but I found that 440 is really not the best tuning. Like if we want to really align with our energy, it seriously feels like if we go up a little bit or down a little bit, it just is a more harmonious thing. Like, did you know that orchestras used to tune to 445 rather than 440?
I have something to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
There was I think 440 came about in 1917
Upright pianos.
as like as a standard
Mm-hmm.
tuning, and it was because these various countries were going by different hertz equals A, and they were just orchestras were trying to standardize it, so they're like if they went to another country, they wouldn't have to adjust their instruments.
Mm-hmm. And so if you guys mess with it, two numbers that I found really beautiful are 444. There's something about it, it's extra beautiful. And then also on the flip side is 432. So if you want to go the other direction for like a slightly detuned, like instead, because like the 444, it's brighter, but not in the way that you think. Like try it sometime. Tune your guitar to 444 and see what happens and see how the chords sound to you. Same thing with 432. It's darker, but not in the way you think. It's so neat to try these different things. One of the things that I like to do in general is just tune my guitar down a whole step, just all the time. Like it's in 440, but instead of EADGBE, I tune to DGCFAD. And that's because I'm a baritone. And most of the songs that I sing are sung by tenors. And so I don't want to be pulling my underwear up. All right. So who wants to go first in your picks? I'm excited.
I'll go.
All right. So, let's everybody get Eve's pick queued up. And Eve, why don't you introduce this for us?
Opeth is a band that I've been into for years. It actually took me a couple of years to for them to stick, because at first I was like I wasn't digging it, but I usually give bands a second or sometimes third chance to kind of stick.
You said it twice, so we're doing the one with the lyrics in Spanish, or no?
The live at the Royal Albert Hall.
Oh,
That's
can
what I
you
thought.
send me the link for that?
I got it. I didn't
Okay.
send it yet because I wanted to make sure I was sending the right one. Go for it. Keep going. Sorry.
I was gonna say they started out as a part of the 90s Swedish death metal scene with their first couple of albums, and then they started to evolve into like a more progressive metal entity as the albums went on, and now they just do like straight on 70s and 60s flavored progressive rock. So they've kind of been all over the map. I would definitely recommend checking out any of their albums. My favorite is Blackwater Park. This is from Damnation, though, which is it has all clean songs and no death metal songs. It's a great record.
That's a great description too.
Yeah.
This is interesting. I have not heard this, so I'm excited. You're going to get my first reaction. I think I've heard Opeth in passing, but I wouldn't be able to tell you when it was or which song title it was. So we're just going to consider this my first reaction to Opeth because, like I said, it had to be at a mix or something if I heard it. I'm excited, though. You've been talking about it, and so we've been building up to this. Anything else you guys want to say before we get this one rolling?
Yeah, this one is my first reaction too. I've heard Opeth a couple of times on the metal station on satellite.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make a prediction here, and hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't know, I might be right. I always think of Opeth as the band with the 2-minute intros. You're doing all this kind of diminished scale kind of stuff. I don't know if this one's going to be it. I have no idea.
Dude, that's right up my alley.
Sometimes, yeah. It depends on the album.
Yeah.
Okay. A good criteria by which to identify if I'm going to enjoy a song thoroughly or not. Like if the first verse comes in, the vocals first come in, like a whole song length into the song, that's usually a good sign for me. Not always, but I like long songs, and I mean, that's because I like songs that take you on a journey, and you can do a lot in 3 minutes, but you can do a lot more in 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
It depends on the, like, I would say what's being played, what the lyrics are, and the context, even the genre in some instances.
Well, like look at Rush. How many songs did they write that were over 10 minutes? I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So without further ado, you guys all queued up and ready to go?
Yeah.
Right.
So without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Opeth, Hope Leaves, live at the Royal Albert Hall. Make sure you guys do that muting thing again because that sounded incredible. All right. I'll say that last thing again once you guys are done muting. So, without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Opeth, Hope Leaves, live at the Royal Albert Hall. Here we go!
In the corner beside my window, there hangs a lonely photograph. There is no reason I never noticed a memory that could hold me back. There is a wound that's always bleeding. There is a road I'm always walking, and I know you'll never return to this place. Without talking, there is a comfort in silence. So used to losing all ambition, struggling to maintain what's left. There is a wound that's always bleeding. There is a road I'm always walking, and I know you'll never return to this place. Undone, there's only smoke burning in my eyes to blind, to cover up what really happened, force the darkness out to me. There is a wound that's always bleeding. There is a road I'm always walking, and I know you'll never return to this place. Very nice.
Hey, Matthew, the rest is banter.
All right, well, we can let it play while we talk about it then. Cool. That was awesome, dude. It was like my first reaction to it's almost like, and I mean, I'm putting things into terms that I understand, right? But I
Bruce
felt
Dickinson
like
today.
I felt like it was almost Tool and Pink
kept my
Floyd
cool
combined, sorta.
He was pretty cool.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I would say Dream Theater was a huge influence on a lot of their work. I mean, he acknowledges it, and they toured together in 2008 and 2009
Oh, did he
on
finally
what was it, the Prague Nation
funny,
tour, I
Nick?
think it was.
He's like telling
Was in
jokes.
Sweden. Not funny.
Yeah, no,
All right.
he's got such
Fuck Sweden. We're gonna move forward to the
a dry
Ghost
sense of
Riddles.
humor, I was gonna say.
Right.
Um,
Just
it's
I'm
great.
just letting it
I introduced
finish
that
for
record.
them.
I said we're gonna move forward to
Fair enough.
the Ghost Riddles record.
Yeah, during the video, I forgot I was muted. I said,
We
remind
signed
me
to
of
Roadrunner
Kansas.
Records, put this one out.
And I don't know if you
by
got my
this time,
brain on
Tarvila
Steve
had
Morse
joined
too
the
much, but I was thinking the sound of the singer's voice, if Kansas used seven chords more,
we
that's what
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking of. I really enjoyed the complexity.
Oh, yeah.
This song is
Yeah.
called Harlequin Forest.
Yeah, that's one of their simpler songs too. It's definitely more lyrically driven compared to something like The Leper Affinity or Deliverance, which is very instrumentally driven.
Yeah. And I was so glad to be wrong when like I mentioned like a big long intro and the lyrics kicked in right away. Even though I know Matthew, that probably you're going, but
No,
yeah,
no. I
I
was
know,
just
I
giving
know.
you a hard time. Like my wife always, like, whenever we do stuff like this at home, like say we're wanting to watch music, listen to some music on the TV while we're having like a party and playing Cards Against Humanity. We'll take turns picking songs, and everybody will give me a hard time because they're like, "Oh, your picks are half an hour. That's not fair. I didn't get to pick 10 songs." And I'm like, okay, I wanted to listen to Octavarium. I'm sorry. I love Octavarium. It's one of my favorite songs. I wanted to listen to it. So I was just making a point of, it's not. It doesn't have to be that way. A lot of the songs that I write are only 3 minutes.
Yeah, you should play her some Transatlantic sometime. In that case, I mean, it's one of Mike Portnoy's like other projects. I think he did it with Neil Morris of Spock's Beard. But yeah, I think they did an album with like 3 20-minute songs or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. So one thing I wanted to mention about that musically, in the structure of the song, there's like, I don't even know what you would call it. After the main vocal melody, the A section, we'll call it, the verse, you could call it. I don't know. I couldn't tell where the title was specifically, so I can't really determine the sections. So we can just use A and B to be simple. So the first section that you hear that was sort of like a verse, we'll call that A. There was a little transition section that's at the end, and it had this little chromatic bass run and a really interesting, spooky harmony. And then it chromatically went na 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 na, and it was just this little like transition, and it was haunting and just gorgeous. And it's like, man, I love that choice of harmony because it was so spooky. Like, and I don't mean like scary. I was trying to find the right word to describe it. It was really cool, and it kept it interesting.
I think that comes from the fact that the band up to this point had played a lot of death and black metal influence stuff. It was always progressive metal, or progressive influenced, but yeah, like the fact that they were like tonally using these more death metal esque intervals and everything, and then they went and did something like this that's a little more melodic. They still had that kind of in their tool bag to utilize, but they utilized it in a obviously a more melodic way here.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. It was like I said, I felt like it didn't ever get to like a slow burn grind like Tool, but all those fingerstyle arpeggios at the beginning and throughout, they just for some reason they reminded me of Tool. And then that guitar solo was just sick. I really, really liked the guitar solo. It built up so nice. It had great phrasing. It checked all the boxes. Built to a climax, had a great tone. It didn't have any dull spots. It didn't feel like it was overplayed at all. I mean, there's the whole shredder thing, and it's like, some of them have better phrasing than others. It's just true. Shredder. Shredding guitar, like shredder. They play really, 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 really fast. Like, it's
yeah.
It wasn't over the top. It was just right for the song.
Frederick Atkinson, as he has great taste, and so does Michael Ackerfeld, the singer. I would say Frederick Atkinson, however you pronounce it. Anyways, yeah, is a more technical person than Ackerfeld, but Ackerfeld's writing all the music.
The singer's tone was really good. It sounded really good. I liked it. I will be definitely checking out more Opeth. I'm gonna try to avoid if they do like the screaming stuff. I'll try to avoid that and try to stick to the more melodic stuff. I like metal, but I like singing metal. And even Dream Theater has some screaming. So I like some screaming, but it's not whenever it starts to get into like barking like a dog sound, where it's like I kind of lose it there.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Have you ever heard K9us?
No.
K9us with the Pitbull singer. Yeah, and then Hate Beak with the.
Well, if it sounds like you're clearing your throat the whole time.
Oh, no, come on. It's more than that.
Yeah, it's not all Cookie Monster, Matt.
Cookie Monster.
If we're talking about like maybe Slipknot or something like that, then yeah, I'd have to agree with you.
Yeah. Slipknot's definitely not one of my favorites. Most of the people that were really super into Slipknot were, in it for the drums. The drummer is really pretty awesome in Slipknot.
Yeah.
But as far as the vocals and the guitars, that's not my cup of tea. They do have a couple of cool songs that are more mellow though. They do. Well, there was one song my wife introduced me to that I liked of theirs that was kind of mellow, and I forget what it was called. Whatever. That's for another day. All right. Let's start transitioning into Kyle here. So any more final thoughts about Opeth? That was a pretty epic song. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I wanted to say I really like the harmonic complexity and what Matthew mentioned about the haunting feeling. With the descending line. What I think was amplifying that feeling is it seemed the singer was the melody as the singer sang it, and instead of the guitar player playing like regular chords, meaning ones with only 3 notes, by adding those extra notes in there, it changed the harmonic context of the melody. Mm-hmm. So you got where the singer's singing along with the guitar player, but then when the guitar player started to add complexity harmonically, then it put the harmonic context on the singer, and that movement between band singer, and doing that quickly, that was really neat. Mm-hmm. Adam Neely just did a video not too long ago on Celine Dion and a composer she worked with that used that to great effect with the song. The guitar player solo, I liked on one of the first big bends. It was off. Mm-hmm. And he just kind of held it and then went a little bit higher to bring it. So to emphasize that dissonance, and I don't know if because I know as a guitar player, you are in the mode. You hit some note and it's a little off, but you don't care because you're going to correct it anyway. That's one of the beauties of a stringed instrument is you can just pull it back.
Yep.
And plus, that's stylistic too. That's a little bit of that Chicago sound. To make something just a little bit flat, and then either go Texas and leave it flat, or bend it up a little bit more to kind of complete the texture. So that was a couple things I wanted to say.
Excellent. Anything else you want to say, Eve, before we move on to the next one?
Well, I would advise anybody watching and the panel to check more Opeth out, and also on that note, Porcupine Tree as well. Steven Wilson produced a bunch of their records.
We did. I did a Porcupine Tree once by request. Shout out to Grunge Grumpy. A good viewer requested it, so I checked out one of their songs. It was pretty cool. He also requested The Gathering. I don't know if you're familiar with The Gathering too.
I am. Nighttime Birds is great.
All right, so we got to do the Zoom Room Roulette now before we do another one. So let's just go ahead and get her done, because otherwise we're going to have to do it in the middle of a conversation, and we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we'll be back in just a second. Don't go nowhere. You know how this goes. I'm back, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. Yes, I'm back, I'm back. Yes, that's cool. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. And I've got Kyle, and he's coming back, and Eve coming back. We got a couple more on this extra special Memorial Day stream for you guys. We're doing an extra 30 minutes. That's right. Extra! You're getting more than you were bargaining for. We're doing an extra long stream today. That's right. And I'm just loving all this time filling and saying silly stuff while everybody's reconnecting their drivers to the interwebs.
I'm here.
Thank you. You here, Kyle?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to make sure that Eve has this link here. Okay, you do. All right, Kyle, it's your turn, buddy. So why don't you introduce this thing that we're going to be reacting to now?
All right, this is an awesome fingerstyle duo from Mexico. They are Rodrigo y Gabriela. So, and I was overthinking my Spanish pronunciation there, but they do a variety of different covers and things. And when I played a lot more classical, and I should say, when I used to play classical exclusively, I was introduced to them, and they were doing a bunch of Metallica covers and things like that. And it is fantastic to hear, hard rock songs. They did some Zeppelin and stuff too. But to hear these songs that you've heard in a certain way, and they're kind of archetype songs, where when you say Metallica, most of the time you have this vision of what Metallica sounds like, their songs, etc. And to hear it done in a flamenco way, proper Spanish guitar, it's a lot of fun. The girl, Gabriela, she is an expert at golpes and creating different percussive patterns with the guitar. Yeah, I think you two will like this. So it's fun.
I want to know, I'm subscribed to another Gabriela that's a fingerstyle guitarist on YouTube. Is that just her by herself, or is that a different one?
I do not know.
I don't remember the last name, but if that's her, then I've heard her and she's really, really good. And if it could certainly be just another Gabriela, because there's lots of Gabrielas and the wonderful earth.
Yeah.
So, yes. But no, I love flamenco, Spanish style guitar, fingerstyle guitar. That was actually the first, that I was introduced to, fingerstyle guitar was, folk music from America, and then also, the flamenco style. I had a lot of young music students that wanted to learn specifically flamenco and fingerstyle, because when I was teaching in Florida, we had an awful lot of my students were from Puerto Rico, and that was really popular there to get their kids to learn to play fingerstyle guitar.
Cool.
So I had a lot of people that wanted to learn that, and so I learned some, and I have a massive respect for all the different techniques you can do.
Yeah.
It's really awesome, and
Always.
it's a good reference point. Go on.
Yeah. Well, and something cool about Spanish culture and music, and when it comes to flamenco, is a lot of these rhythms, and of course it got carried through the Spanish colonies too. But a lot of these rhythms are there. There's like a whole history to it. It's almost like family secrets. Like, hey, this is what one section does. We do this rhythm, and and it's very cool to get into the culture of what these rhythms mean and where they come from, because that's a whole different thing that, like in American music, we're just like, oh yeah, we play kind of blues rock stuff. We got 1-4-5, and the rhythmic component, it's like, okay, we swing or we don't, more or less. And I mean, it's so deeper than that, of course, we have our own depth with musical culture, but I really enjoy that aspect.
Right. So let's just go ahead and let's just keep doing the microphone muting thing, because
Cool.
I've been doing that pretty much the whole time, like just taking my microphone slider bar and turning it down, then maybe like turning it up to say something. And that helps somewhat with the echo. But this last thing we've been doing, when we've been all muting it, man, it's been beautiful. And I've really been able to hear the details a lot better. So let's just make that a standard now, because I think that works really good. You can always unmute to say something and then mute again if you want to. All right? So let's go ahead and get this set up without further ado. Musicians panel reacts to Rodrigo y Gabriela, Orion, live. Are you guys ready? Here we go!
This tune is Orion.
That was awesome, man. I was like getting into that like so hardcore, man. I was moving so much that like my laptop, and I got a steel laptop frame because I didn't want no plastic, and it is enough that the thing's swaying, right? I got my whole floor. I'm on the second floor of an apartment, so the whole floor is shaking a little bit because I'm like, ah!
Yeah. My foot was banging up against the leg of my chair. Yeah, I love it when she gets going, and it's almost like a snare drum flams. You know, it's so quick, and then like when there's about a minute left, she got into like full rumba mode, and I just love that. It makes me miss playing.
That's
like
not the
that
same Gabriela that I mentioned. It's not the same. The other one is younger and just different looking. Does not play with that style. She played with more melodic style. All that percussion, that was elite bata level percussion. And my favorite part was towards the middle when they were doing that. Well, I guess it wasn't in the middle. I guess it was more towards the beginning. He started out with the bottle, right? Yeah. Playing the leads on the bottle, and at the very beginning, but I mean, it was building up. So I wasn't really all the first minute or two, but then when she started doing the percussion thing and he started doing the thing on the bottle, and it reminded me of A Day in the Life by the Beatles. Right? You know that part?
Yeah.
A Day in the Life by the Beatles, where it goes, and it builds up, and then eventually, dun, 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 and Paul McCartney woke up without a bed. Right? You know what I'm talking about? Like that crazy orchestral build-up. It almost felt like that. Like it was just getting more and more intense and more intense. And then, boom, into the groove. And then just from the rest on, I was just like, whoa, they're awesome. And then when she started doing that flammy stuff with the right hand, and then she was doing with the left hand too, and then I couldn't even follow her. And I mean, I'm not trying to say like, because I'm talking more about Gabriela than I am about Rodrigo. He was awesome. His leads were great. They were in sync, but like, no offense to Rodrigo because he was incredible, but dude, none of that would have been possible without her freaking rhythm. It was just. Whoa.
Well, it's kind of like Metallica. You have James and Lars. I mean, that's the core. Kirk is just there for his, wah pedal, little fret tapping solos and stuff, and he's good at it. That's their signature. If you got to check for Metallica, that's what it would be. James and Lars do this, Kirk does that, and then whichever bass player is with them currently.
Speaking of Metallica, their new bass player, right? They've had like 3 or 4 bass players, Metallica. Yeah. Their newest bass player, though, Robert Trujillo or whatever. Yeah. I guess he's actually a really incredible. Okay, Trujillo. He's an incredible flamenco guitarist. I don't know if you've seen that, but I mean, he can play too, like guitar.
Yeah. What is that video? It's like he's playing and Kirk walks in and James is like, "Hey, this dude's trying to get your job," something like that. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yeah, I have. I've checked out a few in progress videos that they've thrown up here and there.
Right on. One thing about Lars, I remember when I saw there was like when Dream Theater had to recast their drummer, right? They did this video series where they were trying out different drummers, and then maybe it was because of the contract or Lars just didn't want to be shown or whatever, but in one of the videos it was like an outtake. I guess Lars did try out to be Dream Theater's drummer at one point. yeah, and it didn't go too well for Lars. I'm not trying to say he's not a good drummer. Lars is a great drummer for what he does, mostly 4/4, throw in some 6/8 every now and then. He's great.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Dream Theater here.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was a side point. Tangent alert.
Yeah.
Tangent alert. That was awesome, man. I just going back to the what we just witnessed though, and then the build up. It was like I was like, just there was this massive climax that those two reached together, and it was I loved it, man. I'm definitely gonna have to check out more of them.
Yeah,
definitely.
and that level of contrast and building up excitement like that, they are. And you know, it's Gabriela. I mean, she is an expert of leading them through the song, and you know, they work so well together. It's so much fun to watch them. They were actually in St. Louis not too long ago. A colleague came up and said, "Hey, this is something you might have liked," and she was telling me like, "I would love to go see them. You know, that would have been so much fun."
Definitely. I love to go see shows, man. That's my favorite pastime. So, all right. I've got my pick now. I've been saving it for y'all. Any more final comments on Gabriela and Rodrigo before we move on here?
I'd like to say that intro part was very, with all the, you know, like flamenco flavor going on, was very Delta blues-esque. Just like the way he was utilizing the bottle. Like, it definitely reminded me of that. I'll have to like figure out like a Delta blues song to throw at y'all one of these days.
Yeah, I love some blues. I was raised on blues. That's how I learned to play, was from the blues. And you know, that's a good thing because you know, the blues isn't it's I mean, it's been around for 100+ years. It ain't going nowhere, you know? And to a musician, it ain't going nowhere. To the general population, I mean, okay, well, maybe it'll go somewhere, but it's here, man, the blues.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was funny. I guess it's been 2 or 3 years now. Marilyn Manson's, he did a blues album, but he was talking about, you know, being in, you know, his type of his band. He didn't really get the blues until he took time to dissect it. And I think that is a good message for people to think, oh, the blues is dead. Well, I can play most any Bieber song and show you how there's some sort of blues element in there, or lots of other pop songs. But that idea of the blues is so ingrained in so much music, it's hard to not hear it once you know it's there, you know?
Yeah. I would have to agree. I mean, from the darkest music to the latest music and in between.
And I mean, like, just think about all of rock and roll uses changes up and down strings and guitar. Like, I mean, you know, changes of a fourth or you know, up a fourth, down a fifth, right? Dun 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 dun. Like there's the easiest change you can make on the guitar. Just one finger, move your power chord. If you're in open position, right? You can switch from E5 to A5 in like, you know, 0.3 seconds or whatever. So, the blues is just so dominant in everything. It's almost like, you know, if you play guitar but you haven't at least dabbled in the blues some, it's like, do you really play guitar all the way? Because I mean, it's just so crucial. And I mean, you know, I say honestly the same thing about fingerstyle, at least for me. Like, I played with a pick most of my life, and then about 10 years ago I decided, you know what, I got 5 of them here. I want to learn to use them. So that's when I really started getting serious about, you know, expanding, you know, and I'm probably not as good with a pick now as I used to be, but I don't care because I hardly ever pick it up. You know what I mean? Like, I'll use it for a few songs, like Summer of '69 or something. It needs that extra attack. But most of the time, I just play with my fingers now. All right, speaking about playing, if you guys all got this next one queued up, this will be the last one for today. We're going to save the best for last. No, I don't know. So, for my pick today, I saved my pick for last. I am doing Ayreon, The Source album React. Man, I just love this band. This is the first album of theirs I've listened to. This album has 11 incredible lead singers on it. Wow. This album is freaking just awesome. And so this is just an in-the-middle song, right? Where it's just kind of where we're at in the Source. It's a 2-album rock opera style space journey, so we're gonna check out Bay of Dreams. Are you guys all ready?
Ready.
All right. Mute up, and without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Ayreon, Bay of Dreams from the Source 2017. Here we go. Cool.
succeeds to find peace at last. Overhead a savage sky, beyond our placid bay, deadly rays from Sirius high, upon the seas they blaze. Will I ever run down to this alien life? Will I ever feel trapped, merely trying to survive? Will you still be needing me? Will you still be feeding me? Will you still be heeding me? Will you still let me serve when you mutate into the species roaming these oceans? Or will I be disengaged? My life is winding down as if time has ceased. My world grinds to a halt and nature is at peace. My fears are fading in the wastelands of the deep. My doubts all wash away by the freely twisting stream. The chaos. Far beyond in the aftertime, a new world to come. In a far-off galaxy, underneath the distant sun, I see our children. They look like you and me. They await their destiny. I can almost hear their scream.
That's gonna smash right into the next song, obviously.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. I love all the synthesizers in that. It almost reminded me at first, you said Sticks in the chat. It sounded almost to me like Welcome to the Machine by Pink Floyd, but like on cocaine or something, because it was faster. all those crazy guitar runs, they almost sounded like that Opeth with all the open strings and the at the beginning, and I love all the synthesizer work that they do, that Ayreon does. In the some of the videos you can see him turning the knobs and the Moog and stuff, just like they did in the 70s, like way Pink Floyd did it, and Yes, and all these crazy bands, Styx, and he's still using that old stuff. It just sounds incredible. The songwriting was really cool. Jumping right off, man. James LeBry, I love it. His voice, it's like a hug. Anytime I hear his voice, I just feel hugged. It doesn't matter what he's singing, it's just, oh man. And just the vocals throughout that were just incredible. There was a couple of points in it where I heard in a similar style to the way he did in Everybody Dies, but Michael Mills was screaming those really super high notes. It was fun, and the whole thing kind of just had the the whole way through. Was like that Welcome to the Machine-esque kind of like pulse.
Yeah,
that was kind of like
sequencer.
There. Yeah, it just sounded good the way they mixed it, and it kind of came up and down in volume as it needed to, but it just kept that whole thing going. It's really cool. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really heard it before. I think we reacted to another song maybe like a couple of weeks ago. And this one's definitely very different than the one that we reacted to. I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, no, it's this. There's definitely a lot of variance on this record already. It sounds from the couple songs I've heard.
I enjoyed the flute in this a lot too. It wasn't mixed really high, but it really added a gorgeous texture to it.
Yeah, it made me think of, I mentioned Styx and chat, and then there was another band, but with the Styx, it brought me back. I remember Radio Shack had like a Moog copy synth, and I had it stuck in my head. It's like, okay, I'm going to be like Tommy Shaw. Now, let me finish the story before you jump in. It's like, this dude, bro, hold up. So it's like, I was thinking, it's like, okay, I'm going to be like Tommy Shaw, because for a while, like around 1980 or so, I was more interested in getting a keyboard, growing up without money. But anyway, so I save it up to get this crazy ripoff or synthesizer, not computer. And then I got the Mr. Roboto record and was looking at the credits. I saw Dennis Dubrow, singer, blah, 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 synthesizer, keyboard, Tommy Shaw, guitar, keyboard, synthesizer. And I was like, wait a second. And so I asked my brother, it's like, who's the keyboard player in Styx? He's like, well, Dubrow. I'm like, oh man. So I had to like totally shift. So hearing the song brought back a lot of those cool memories. And when songs tap into memories and in those deeper contexts, that's really fun. So that made me really enjoy this. And then as the song progressed and it got a little less synthy, it made me think of the 80s band Savatage. I don't know if you've heard that song.
I have.
Yeah, Halls of the Mountain King. That was like classic Headbangers Ball video. And so in my mind, as I'm hearing this, I'm going, the Halls of the Mountain King. And I was, reliving that and that crazy epic video. So, and again, the whole idea with bringing that stuff up is to show the richness, and that's what's fun. You hear something new that, and you could debate, like, is this tapping into older music styles or whatever? Or is it trying to progress a musical style? And to me, some of that's kind of irrelevant because your individual perspective as a listener, like for me, I'm having so much fun right now, hanging out by myself in my basement on Zoom, having all these memories. I'm thinking, wow, that was cool that song did that. So
definitely. I'm really enjoying the Ayreon album. And, it's because it's a rock opera style thing where it's telling a story, I'm trying to go through the whole thing sequentially so that I can actually grasp, this whole giant tale. And it's really, really interesting. That song, I'm not trying to say I fully understood all the words. In post, I'll put the lyric video on there so everybody can see the words, or at least it'll highlight who's singing at the moment or whatever. But, they just moved to this water planet. They've been on a spaceship and they've been intravenously fed this liquid eternity, the source that is evolving them into fish people so they could live on a water world. And so they're just like now appearing on this world out of hibernation, and they're like talking about it, wondering if they're going to be able to survive and adapt, and it's different than what they expected, or I'm not sure.
So they're evolving into wow, that's super prog. That's so prog. I can only.
It starts off with the machines, the machines destroying everybody, coming to invade, kill everybody. So they get on a spaceship and they decide to go to another star system, and the best planet they can find is a water planet. So they decide to evolve into fish beings.
Wow.
And that's where I'm at. So the next song is titled "Planet Y is Alive." I believe that's the next one. So that'll be interesting. Another twisted turn in our story here.
Well,
but honestly, I believe the Earth is alive. So that's really not a shocker to me.
Yeah. Did either of you know the book Naked Lunch by William Burroughs? Classic beat.
Yes.
Okay, hearing your description of these people, kind of water, it made me think of the mugwumps out of Naked Lunch. So and that's a whole that could be a whole series of videos exploring any sort of literature connection there. So that's
Definitely.
wow, that's cool.
Definitely.
For
Now,
some
this is-
reason, it makes me think of the album, or I don't know. I mean, like it's a more like sounds like a more space version of, and like the just maybe it's the vibe I'm catching from it, but like a more spacey modern version of The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway.
Ah,
I don't know if that makes any sense.
Sure. I like it. And one of the other things I love about Ayreon is not just the progressive metal and the way that they take and they mix some of the European folk elements the way that Nightwish does and some other of these metal bands. It's like symphonic and it's progressive and it's got that little bit of folky too. And so with that folkiness, you've got acoustic instruments. You've got the flute and the violin and the cello, and I just love it. I mean, synthesizers can do a lot, and I'm bragging on the synthesizer work so much, but just nothing can replace a flute. You know what I mean? Or a violin. You know what I mean? It's just there's something about it.
yeah.
You can synthesize a violin sound and you could play it virtuosically on the piano, but it's not going to be the same as if you heard, say, Lindsey Sterling rip it out on the violin. It's just not going to be the same.
Yeah.
So anyway, man, this has been great Memorial Day special. We've gone over 90 minutes, so I'm gonna have to start wrapping things up now. But this has just been great. I'm starting to get a little bit sweaty here with the sun coming in. I'm gonna have to open up the window. I'm not as dressed up as usual today because it's getting hot here. We don't have air conditioning in this apartment, so it's gonna be a rough summer here. You guys, I hope I don't have to I'm just going to have to buy some really thin t-shirts or something.
I got both the front and back door open right now, and it's just like the cross breeze is great. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm stuck in a bedroom with no wind right now. But let's talk here about you guys. I really appreciate you being here. Go over to Evelyn Holland's channel. There's links in the description. She's going to be on the rebroadcast. Everything's going to be on her channel. Check it out. Evelyn Holland's a great musician and songwriter, and you can check out The Keys of Solomon, and she's got new stuff in the works. Also, check out Kyle Walz. Kyle Walz' YouTube channel broke 9,000 subscribers. I'm looking forward to announcing your 10K day. That's coming soon. Everybody, make sure you go over and add to the party and subscribe to Kyle Walz. Check out kylewalz.com and Kyle Walz on Instagram. And of course, you guys, like I said at the beginning, yesterday was the day that I hit and passed 20,000 subscribers. Awesome. Thank you so much, all of you, for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Please do so now if you have not. More than 85% of my views are not for subscribed people. So I know somebody hearing this has not mashed the button yet. So please go ahead, subscribe to my channel. And, Thursday. This coming Thursday, as when I'm recording this, I'm doing a very special stream for all my Aleepers. It's going to be all Aleep saxophone and possibly vocal collabs. I'm just going to jam with the master, all right? And like I said, at the beginning, I'm going to do it mellow, and I'm not going to overplay on top of him. I'm going to play with him and make sure that he is, of course, the feature, and I'm just going to add a little bit of dressing here and there to the wonderful, healthy salad of Aleep Bata. And also, guys, check me out online, patreon.com/Matthews Music Lesson Studio, where you can support the channel. Your requests get much faster. If you go there and request it there, you'll bypass weeks and weeks of waiting. I'm telling you, I do take all your requests seriously. The chat requests, the comment requests. So go ahead and do them. But I'm not going to do something in the stream that you chatted in the stream. Just so you know, I can't possibly do that. We've all got a show all planned out, and I've got a special request for next Monday. We're going to do some more Isyana Sarasvati from the Acoustic. So Lex Acoustic. So make sure you guys tune in for that. And music lessons at MatthewsMusicLessonsStudio.com. That's right, where you get to record the lessons from me and keep them voice, saxophone, guitar, ukulele, and record your lessons. Keep them on your device forever. MatthewsMusicLessonsStudio.com. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys all next time on the sound
See you guys.
Live.
Yep. Have a good day, everyone.
Happy Memorial Day to all of my American people, and happy last day of May to everybody else. Thank you guys so much. Woohoo! And